Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thank you so much for taking the time. My name is Todd Creviston. I'm actually in what we call the Spellmeyer Studio in Glenview, Illinois. We do have a pond on our property, but it doesn't quite look like what you see there. So we'll talk about your Healthflex well-being benefits. And this will take approximately an hour or so. We are recording this, and we'll send everyone who registered a link to that recording, along with a copy of the slide deck, so you'll have that for your record as well. There is a dashboard, that webinar dashboard, the GoToWebinar dashboard. You'll be able to click on that questions title, expand that box, and then enter your questions as we go through the presentation today. The purpose of today is to cover all the Healthflex well-being programs that are available to you. You should have received a trifold that outlines the majority of what we're going to cover today. If you haven't received that yet, rest assured that's in the mail. Mine arrived over the weekend. I usually have it to show, but I left it at my desk. But you'll get a trifold that will show all of the different programs that are available to you. And then at the back of this presentation, there is a QR code that you can take a picture of or access the link that you can see. I'll include that link in the email to you as well. And that's to a link tree, and that shows all the different programs, and there's videos to help explain different components of each of the programs. So what you see here today, this is our roadmap for your well-being programs. And you could really, there's really one starting point. This to me looks like the game of life, playing that board game as a kid. Down in the lower left-hand corner, that's your starting point. That's your best first step, I like to say. And what that is, that's registering for Virgin Pulse. And then from there, everything that we talk about today is accessible through that Virgin Pulse program. We also like to say there's something for everyone, whether it's a program or a component of Virgin Pulse, or it's Weight Watchers, or MD Live, Blueprint for Wellness. Our goal is for you to understand all the programs and you engage in the ones that best suit you. I will call out there's two programs that are time-bound, meaning they need to get completed by a certain period of time each year, and that's Blueprint for Wellness and Health Check. I should also call out that all the programs that we're going to cover today are available to active clergy, so clergy and their spouse, covered by Healthflex. There are two programs available to retirees. Those are still very valuable. The retiree programs that you have access to include Virgin Pulse and Blueprint for Wellness. So the best first step, enrolling in Virgin Pulse, you'd go to that website listed there. You may have to scroll to the bottom of the screen to see that Sign Me Up button, that little gold button at the bottom of the screen. And then you'll click that button and then enter all of that information. So it'll be your first name, last name, social security number, date of birth. You'll also set up a password and login ID. Once you're in the account, you'll be prompted to order a Max. So a Max Buzz is the device that's offered by Virgin Pulse. This is free to all new individuals on Healthflex. So participants and covered spouses by Healthflex can order a Max Buzz. The cost of that's $28.99. And so you're able to order that at no cost to you. It'll get delivered in about 5 to 7 business days. I also like to call out that it's $28.99 because if you want to purchase a different device from the Virgin Pulse store, like a Garmin or a Fitbit or even an Apple Watch. One of my coworkers actually purchased a nifty Apple Watch a couple summers ago through the Virgin Pulse store. So all you would do is apply that $28.99 credit to the cost, and then cover the rest of the fee with a debit card or a credit card. Once you're enrolled, you have access to all of those Healthflex well-being programs. There's two ways to engage or two ways to use the program. I would encourage everyone to download the mobile app, because if you're using a MaxBuzz, you'll need to use the mobile app to move your steps over to your Virgin Pulse account using that mobile app. So all you would do is go to your respective stores, Google Play, Samsung, the Apple Store, search for Virgin Pulse, and then download it. You'll use the email address that you use to register and the password that you set up when you first registered. And then from there, you're able to engage in all the different programs. The nice thing about that app, it'll remember your login and it'll remember your password, so you don't need to log in every time you want to use the program. The other way is web-based. So you would just go to a laptop or a desktop computer, open up a web browser, type in virginpulse.com, and then click Member Login. Because you're already a member, you'll just click Member Login, enter that same information, the email you used when you registered, and then your password, and you're able to explore. I'll call out that there's some subtle differences between the web-based and the mobile app, but they're very, very similar. The program is designed to be quarterly, so it'll reset each quarter. So the first day of each quarter, you'll begin at level 0. And then as you complete activities, track your habits, upload your steps, upload your sleep, you'll earn points and you'll progress from 0 to level 1. So level 1 is when you hit 1,000 points. You'll receive $5 in Pulse Cash. Pulse Cash is just, it's money, it's cash. Virgin Pulse calls it Pulse Cash, but it really is money. It spends just like money. Level 2 is 5,000 points, and you'll earn $15 Pulse Cash when you hit that level, and that's automatically deposited in your account. There's no delay. Level 3, you'll hit 10,000 points, and then level 4 is when you hit 15,000 points. And believe me, there's plenty of ways to earn points to move through those levels, and we'll cover those in a little bit. There we go. So there's some one-time earning opportunities. So you can add friends. So there's a social aspect to Virgin Pulse, as you see in that picture right there. So you can have friend groups on your Virgin Pulse account. And it's similar to Facebook. The Wespath program is actually a closed program. So you can actually find individuals. You can friend anyone in the Wespath program. So that includes about 18,000 enrolled participants. So if you went to seminary with somebody 20, 30 years ago, you might be able to find them on Virgin Pulse. There's approximately 46 different annual conferences and 4 employer groups that are actually members of Virgin Pulse. When you add a profile picture, you'll earn 100 points. That can be a picture of you, that could be a picture of your pet, your favorite hobby, a sunset. That's your choice. The daily point opportunities include step uploads. So that that MaxBuzz will count the number of steps that you take each day. When you upload your steps each day, you'll earn 10 points for every 1,000 steps for a maximum per day of 140 points. So if you hit 14,000 steps in a day, you'll receive 140 points. Another opportunity would be to complete cards. And each day you'll have 2 cards to complete. You'll receive 20 points per card, so 40 points per day. And those cards offer fitness tips, health tips, emotional well-being tips, financial tips. So it's across the 5 dimensions of well-being, from physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and financial. They're throughout those 5 dimensions. You can also track healthy habits, and you can earn up to 30 points per day, and you'll earn 10 points for the first 3 habits that you track per day. I typically track between 3 and 5, but I can only earn 30 per day. Another great way to earn activity is through sleep. So that Max Buzz and most other activity trackers like Garmin, Fitbit, Polar, and iPhone or the iWatch will track sleep. When that gets moved over into the Virgin Pulse account, you'll earn points for that. So you'll earn 20 points per day for tracking your sleep, but you'll also earn 50 points if you slept 7 hours or more the night before. So a great way to earn points and move through those levels. A couple other ways to earn points and to dive a little bit deeper into well-being would be their sleep guide. So you would access the sleep guide by going to the benefits app or the benefits title, and then you would find sleep guide, click on that, it'll open up. Your first thing to do is to set your sleep profile, and that would be kind of what you're interested in doing, what you're interested in working on. Maybe you have difficulty getting back to bed, maybe you have difficulty shutting your mind off at night. So you'll select from one of 6 different sleep profiles, and then you'll have healthy habits put into your healthy habit tracking section based on what you want to work on for your sleep guide. When you set that profile, you'll actually earn 250 points per quarter. So you can do that once per quarter, earn 250 points. And then, like I mentioned, tracking your sleep, Max Buzz does automatically, so it's a wonderful way to earn points. The nutrition guide is set up similarly to the sleep guide, except now you're selecting one of 6 different nutrition profiles. You'll earn 250 points when you set your sleep profile, your nutrition profile. And then another great thing with the nutrition guide is you can browse recipes. You'll actually earn points for browsing recipes. You can actually add those ingredients to that recipe to a shopping list so that you can go back later when you're at the store, you can open it up and shop from that list and pick up everything that you need for those recipes. Back in grad school, I had a professor who said that approximately, most of the people in the U.S. really only eat 10 to 12 different recipes per week. And I thought, well, that's crazy. I didn't really think about it back then, but now that having kids, teenage kids, and they've got a lot of different things to do, we really have kind of fallen in the habit of probably eating maybe a dozen different recipes that just kind of rotate through, and it gets kind of stale. So we've been using that recipe section as a way to find other ways to cook, other things to make, and that are healthy. And my favorite part of that recipe section is the comment section. People are so creative. They're like, hey, I did this recipe, but I substituted applesauce, or I substituted low-fat Greek yogurt. So it's a great way to kind of expand your palate, expand your interest in food through that recipe section, and then those comments on how other people actually modified them is really great. You can also track calories and earn points each day. To track calories, you'll need to use MyFitnessPal. And I've been using MyFitnessPal for about 2 years now. So I just went in today and I logged my breakfast, oatmeal and a clementine. For that, I earned 20 points. But if you use MyFitnessPal, I would encourage you just to use the free version of it. In 2 years, I haven't seen the need to pay for the premium service. So I'm still using the free, but it meets my needs. All the food that I eat, I can look it up and enter it and keep track of my daily calorie intake. Another program that's wonderful is called Rethink Care. It used to be known as WILL. So as you're going through those lessons, you might see it referenced as WILL and Rethink Care. Same great program, they just changed their name last summer. You'll get points for completing a session, and then you'll get points for completing a series. So there's 4 different series. Mindfulness and yoga are my favorite. The yoga sessions are about 10 minutes in length. Actually get down on the floor and get moving. They offer a lot of help and assistance for somebody who's not so flexible like myself, but it's a great way to get the day started. And then everything that I've talked about today so far with earning points, the daily point opportunities, the sleep guide, tracking your sleep, tracking your nutrition, browsing recipes, you're going to get bonuses for repeating those habits. So there could be a bonus opportunity for doing something 10 times in a month and 20 times in a month. And it's important to note that that's not consecutive. You don't need to do it consecutively 10 times or consecutively 20 times, but just 20 times a month or 10 times a month, and you'll earn a bonus. And that's a fantastic way to move through those levels. In the last couple of years, we've kind of narrowed the program down a little bit to 5 areas of focus: emotional well-being, living with chronic conditions, improved diet, physical well-being, and improved sleep. And we'll talk about a couple of programs that fit into each of those different areas. So Blueprint for Wellness would fit within the physical focus area. This program is available to both participant and spouse, and retiree and spouse. The difference is the retirees don't earn the $100 in Pulse Cash. So when it's completed, the active participants and spouse will receive $100 in Pulse Cash. That'll get deposited in your account a day or so after you complete the screening. Actually, 2 to 3 days after you complete the screening. This is one of the time-bound activities, so you'll need to complete it between January 4th and August 31st. You will receive communications throughout that period of time to encourage you to complete it. To register, you could do that from the web browser or the app. So you would just open up your app, click on the Benefit tab, search for Quest Blueprint for Wellness, click on Begin, and then follow those steps to register. So typically there are 4 screening options. First would be the local lab. So this is your local Quest facility. It's important to mention that you need to register through the app or call the 800 number that's on the communications that we send you. If you call Quest, let's say you Google Quest because you know one's on Main Street, you Google it and call them, they'll take your appointment and you could go there and screen. The problem is they're going to bill you for that because they don't know that you're part of Healthflex. So we encourage everyone to register through the app or the 800 number. That 800 number is listed on all the communications that we will be sending you from this point through August 31st. Okay? So you find that local lab through your Virgin Pulse app, and all you'll do is click on it, select your date and time that you want it to go. It's a fasting test, so you'll want to fast between 8 and 12 hours before your visit. Another opportunity is the at-home screening kit, and this actually came out of COVID. So in 2020, with COVID, we were trying to figure out how we could still make Blueprint for Wellness screenings accessible to the participants. And Quest had this available. You'll go in the same way and click that as an option. Once you've ordered it, it'll arrive in about a week or so. I have to mention that they don't ship as quickly as Amazon. I think our expectations these days is, everything should arrive the next business day. Quest will actually ship these out a couple times per week, so it'll likely take maybe 4 or 5 days for it to arrive at your house. They've done a great job putting it together. All the materials that you'll need to complete the screening is there. It involves a finger stick, and then you'll put drops of blood on a card, allow it to dry. There's some other things that you'll need to do, but then once the blood's dry, you complete those other activities, and then you mail it back. And then Quest will analyze it. And then you'll report out just like the local lab. We have quite a few participants who like to go to their doctor, to have their doctor complete the blood tests and have that consultation with their doctor all in one. So what they'll do is they'll go in, go in and register as a physician form. They'll print it out, so it's a sheet of paper, bring that to their doctor, and then their doctor then fills out all the different tests and all the different information. There's actually 7 tests that are included on that form. Those 7 tests then get uploaded into your account, and you'll report out. And when I say report out, that means you'll get an email from Quest saying, hey, thank you for completing your screening. You can go into your Quest account and review your results. And in many cases, plan sponsors offer on-site screenings. A commonplace a time for this to take place would be annual conference. We've also had plan sponsors offering on-site screenings at other times during the year. When you go in to look at those screening options, you can click on on-site screenings, and your closest screening option on-site will show up in that account. The Blueprint for Wellness screening is comprehensive. I bring that to my doctor every year, and she marvels at it because it's so comprehensive. There's 32 different tests. It includes thyroid function, kidney function, liver function, pancreas function, so glucose and HbA1c. They'll also measure your blood pressure, your height, your weight, and your waist circumference. And then within about 3 weeks of completing your screening, the My Guide to Health will arrive at your home. So the My Guide to Health is a written report. When it shows up, it's a pretty big package. When you open it up, everything's explained in easy to understand language. It explains why the test is important, and it will likely offer resources on how to improve or maintain that test result. So the My Guide to Health is a wonderful opportunity, and this is available to retirees. So that means that you don't have to worry about paying out of pocket. Sometimes these tests are, sometimes you might be billed from your provider for these tests. If you go through the Quest process, register through your Virgin Pulse app, or use that 800 number, you won't be charged for this. There's no out-of-pocket cost for that. There may be out-of-pocket costs for your physician visit to have that physician form completed. But the rest of the opportunity, the local lab, the at-home test kit, and on-site screenings, there's no cost to you. So Health Check is another time-bound activity, and this would be completed between January 1st and August 31st. We typically promote Blueprint for Wellness and Health Check together. And the Health Check is a digital health assessment, so it's an online health questionnaire. You can actually complete it from the Virgin Pulse app. So you could be in your grocery store line, or you could be at home relaxing out by the pond and actually going through and completing that health check using your Virgin Pulse app. The incentive here is you'll avoid the higher deductible for 2024. So you complete it in 2023, you'll avoid the higher deductible for 2024. And this is just active participant and covered spouse need to complete it. And actually both need to complete it each year to avoid that higher deductible. To get to the health check, this is what the desktop experience looks like in Virgin Pulse. You could see across the top, you've got home, health, benefits, social, and more with the dots. So you'd click on health right there in the middle. That little pop-up menu becomes visible, and then you'd click on health check and then just follow the steps to complete. If you complete Blueprint for Wellness first, your test results will populate health check, thereby reducing the amount of information that you have to enter into your health check each year. So wellness credits are another opportunity to earn Pulse Cash. So wellness credits you can earn on a calendar year, January 1 through December 31st. And there are a huge number of activities that you can complete to earn wellness credits. Just before I got here, just before we started, I completed 2 journeys. I'll talk about journeys in a little bit. It's basically a self-guided coaching program, and they're multi-step. They could be multi-week. Usually they're between like 10 and 17 steps or 10 and 17 lessons, and you'll earn 10 points when you complete a series of those. So today, before we started, I got on and I completed my journey. I think I'm on step 9 of fit with the family. And then once I complete the 10th step, I'll earn wellness credits for that. So wellness credits you earn through a variety of activities. They're available through your Virgin Pulse app and also through the web browser by logging into Virgin Pulse. You can look at all the different ways to earn wellness credits. This is a view of the app, the Virgin Pulse app. So you open up your Virgin Pulse app, and then from the home screen, it'll open up to home. You'll click home and then rewards, and then you're able to scroll down and see all the different activities. At the top of that, you'll see you'll see OMADA health participation and diabetes prevention program participation. Those are 2 programs offered through OMADA. You could actually look for those in your Virgin Pulse app under benefits to see if you qualify. They're fabulous programs. And then what I was just referring to earlier, the complete a journey step. So the first journey step that you complete, you earn 5 points. And then from there, you'll earn 15 wellness credits for each journey that you complete. You can also submit a success story. If your success story is selected to get published, then you'll earn additional points. You'll also earn wellness credits for your 7 of the Blueprint for Wellness tests that are in the healthy range. Next year, you can earn wellness credits for those 7 test results that are in the healthy range, or if they improved from this year. So there's 2 ways to earn those wellness credits from your Blueprint for Wellness screening results. One is if they're in the healthy range to start with, and then next year, if they improved, then you'll earn points as well. So I encourage you, open up your Virgin Pulse app, locate those wellness credit opportunities, and scroll down and see what is interesting to you. Another wonderful opportunity is that Virgin Pulse Health Coaching. I've actually gone through this. They are great. You can Google, and I just heard a coworker this morning talking about her husband Googling things health-related. And when you Google a health-related concern, well, if you Google anything, you get a lot of different hits. You get a lot of hits, and sometimes it's difficult to sort through. And it's difficult to tell what's the best information, what's the most accurate information. With Virgin Pulse Health Coaching, all of the health coaches are qualified, they're certified. Many have exercise degrees, nutrition degrees, even degrees in social work and emotional counseling and things like that. So they provide quality, accurate, evidence-based advice. And you can talk to them about pretty much anything well-being related, emotional well-being, physical well-being. They also can chat with you or coach you on financial well-being as well. So the whole spectrum of dimensions. Here's just a couple: eating healthy, weight management, sleep well, stress reduction, get active. It's a very popular time of year to begin eating healthy, to begin trying to make a positive impact on our health. They can also help you navigate health situations like chronic pain, heart health, anxiety, depression. It's really easy to schedule. Scheduling it is similar to scheduling your Blueprint for Wellness screening. But here you'll go into the health coaching area of your Virgin Pulse app and then click on the area that you'd like to work on, and then you're able to schedule a time and day for that call to take place. You will earn 25 wellness credits for each health coaching session that you complete. So in 6 health coaching sessions, you will have earned your 150 wellness credits. Okay, and then shortly thereafter, you'll have that $150 in Pulse Cash deposited in your account. Journeys, I love Journeys. I've mentioned that a couple of times. So it's a multi-week guided course. A lot of it you just read. You know, it's maybe half a paragraph, 2 paragraphs on a particular component of the theme that you're looking at. You can complete this in the calendar year, January 1 through December 31. And there's lots of different journeys in there for you to choose from that are organized under emotional awareness, reducing stress, physical ailment like low back pain, diabetes. So there's a lot of great content there. And it's the same kind of information that you're getting from coaching. You can be assured that it's accurate, it's evidence-based. I have another friend who likes to get all of his information from Instagram. That could be good, it could be not so good, but you just don't know in all cases. With the journeys, with health coaching, you know that the individual is qualified. And in the case of health coaching, if they're not qualified in a particular area, they'll tell you. They won't just offer advice that they're not comfortable with. So journeys are organized by lifestyle or condition. So sleeping better, reducing stress. I love the reducing back pain. That has helped me quite a bit. Eating healthy. So the goal of journeys is to promote positive behavior change, and it's also in your own pace. So you don't have to do one each day. You can go back when you need additional information or when you want to keep continuing through that journey. So it's a small bite. It's a small chunk of information that you can put in place that day. So the nutrition guide. So you'll navigate to the nutrition guide and you'll pick from one of these 6 different profiles. Balanced eater, happy hydrator. Actually, this was taken from my screen, my computer screen, my account. At the time I was working on being an energized eater. It added 3 healthy habits for me to track around that to help support being an energized eater. And then I earned 250 points when I selected that. Sleep guide, here are the 6 different sleep guide profiles. So you'll navigate to the sleep guide, read through each of those descriptions, see what you want to work on. Or it could be something that you've already mastered, but you want to work on it additionally. So you can click on it. Those sleep habits, there's 3 habits that'll be associated with each of those different profiles. Those will get added to your healthy habit tracking. You'll also set a sleep goal. I set my sleep goal at just 7 hours. I typically hit between 6:45 and 7:15, 6 hours and 45 minutes to 7 hours and 15 minutes a night during the week, and typically a little more on the weekends. But you can actually set that as you wish. So with chronic disease prevention, chronic disease prevention is a program that's offered through Omada. And you would go to the benefits section of your Virgin Pulse app or the web browser. You would then look for chronic disease prevention. The company name is Omada. And then you would complete the registration process. And they'll tell you if you are eligible to participate. In some cases, you might not be eligible. But it's a wonderful program. It's designed to reduce your risk for developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and the goal is to also reach a healthy weight. The program is interactive. You'll actually receive some smart devices to help you along your journey. There is weekly content that will help empower you to make those habits stick, to move in a positive direction. And you'll also be placed in a small group of participants to help keep you engaged. You can participate in that anonymously, so you don't need to put your name in your profile. You don't need to put your picture in there. You could put the picture of your dog or your favorite sunset. But the goal for this program is to reduce your risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and with a goal of reaching a healthy weight. Both of those work in tandem. The diabetes prevention program is also offered through Omada. This program is designed to help manage type 1 and type 2 diabetes. So the coaching here comes from a certified diabetes care and education specialist. So they have specific education on working with people with type 1 and type 2 diabetes. And here you'll receive a connected blood glucose meter and a scale to help monitor your progress. They also work on medication management. You will receive 150 wellness credits once you complete 9 weeks of the diabetes prevention program or the chronic disease prevention program. And high engagement means that you've had 9 weeks of working with the program, 9 weeks of entering your weight, 9 weeks of completing your lessons. So 9 weeks worth of high engagement will earn you that 150 wellness credits. So every 2 years, Wespath puts together, or Wespath conducts a clergy well-being survey. And we're actually conducting it now in 2023. So it's every 2 years. The last set of results we have was from the spring of 2021. And honestly, we were surprised by the results. We knew at the time, we knew before then, that being clergy was difficult. It was difficult on emotional health. But what we saw in the results of 2021, probably due in part to COVID, was a worsening of clergy's emotional health. So we added additional emotional programs, emotional health programs to Healthflex to provide easier access to emotional well-being programs and counseling. So we'll talk about, four different emotional health programs. The first is the EAP benefit, or the EAP program. And that's an old corporate emotional health term. It's employee assistance provider. Essentially, it's confidential counseling and support to help manage issues in your personal and professional life. And this is a program that we've had for a long, long time. You have 8 sessions, 8 free sessions per concern per year, okay? And to put that into context, when my youngest was born, my middle guy was just turning 3. And before Scotty, our baby, was born, John was potty trained. Once Scotty came along, John regressed. And my wife and I were concerned. We weren't sure what to do. So we ended up calling the EAP, and it was my wife and I and John. We took him to see Dr. Martha, and we discussed kind of the approach. And it turned out the counseling was really more for my wife and I, that it was normal and natural for that to take place. My wife and I giggle about it now, and we're so thankful for having that benefit. So that was about 6 sessions. That was one concern. And then later in the year, let's say if I had another concern with work or anxiety, I would be able to call again and get 8 sessions for that different concern. Okay, so it can be used multiple times per year by the same person. It's just per concern, 8 sessions per concern per year. And this benefit covers the household. So it covers everybody in that household, even if they're not covered by Healthflex. The sessions can actually take place in person, like with Dr. Martha. We just drove to the next town over, or they could actually take place virtually. And you're able to call that number to get started, or you can navigate to the EAP program through your Virgin Pulse app and then search for a provider. And that provider, that the search results will give the name, their degrees, and it will let you know if they are seeing new patients. It will also let you know if they'll see you in person or if they'll see you virtually. And the really neat thing about that virtual aspect is once you search for a provider, you could search by zip code, but you'll get a list of providers based on that zip code. And it could be that you see somebody from a different state, a different time zone. So if they show up in that search result, you can see them even if they're not in your state, which could give you greater access to your schedule. I had a participant tell me that they saw somebody virtually that was in Hawaii, but they lived here in the Midwest. They lived in Illinois. So that meant that they were able to have a 10 o'clock session, but in Hawaii it was 4 o'clock. So pretty flexible with the schedule there. I mentioned some of the different potential needs: conflict resolution, emotional impact of living with chronic or serious illness, caring for an ailing family member, marital and family satisfaction, stress, anxiety, depression. We also have in there legal matters. So if you're having a will redone, or if you don't know where to go to get a will started, or potentially a financial question about a lease or something like that, you could call that 800 number and ask to talk to an attorney. So you'll tell them what your issue is, and then you'll let them know that you want to talk to an attorney, and they'll be able to transfer you to an attorney that can assist. If your question is more complex, they could give you a referral to a couple attorneys in the area, and then you'll actually get a discount for those services. We can jump back up to the finding child care or elder care in your community. So if you caring for an aging parent, potentially the aging parent doesn't live in your state or your city, you could still call that 800 number, let them know that you're interested in finding elder care for a particular zip code or city, and they will be able to pull together a couple different resources for you. So the idea with that is they can bring you to making that decision quicker. If you Google elder care and then put in elder care with your zip code, you'll likely get 1 billion hits. So in reality, you're not any closer to making a decision. Calling the EAP and asking for that help, they will get you closer to being able to make that decision. So they'll provide you with a couple vetted, known elder care resources or elder care locations, and then all you would need to do is go check. You could look at the check into those 3 and make your decision. If by chance you weren't happy with either of those 3, you can ask for another search as well. So the idea with that is to reduce the stress, to reduce the work, bring you to being able to make a decision sooner. So the EAP is terrific. You just go to your Virgin Pulse app, click the Benefits tab. That Benefits tab is a common theme. So that's where you'll go to look for all the different programs. You'll search for Optum Employee Assistance Program and then click Start Now. Talkspace is really cool. So Talkspace was added a little over a year ago, and what Talkspace allows you to do is text with your therapist, okay? So you don't have to commit to an hour in an office or commuting to an office. You can actually text with a qualified therapist, a licensed therapist. To start this, you would call the EAP 800 number and ask and let them know that you wanted to use Talkspace, and they will get you started. So you can text your therapist 24/7 via secure Talkspace website or app. You can also schedule live video sessions if that's your choosing. 1 week worth of texting is equal to 1 session. It's recommended that once you get set up and you get connected with your therapist, that you have an initial conversation with them so that you are both aware of expectations. So you could text them at midnight, but what's the expectation to have that return text back from them, okay? So that initial meeting, you kind of set the ground rules. So the registration process is 3 steps. Call the Optum EAP at that number. They'll give you an authorization code. You'll then go to Talkspace.com/connect and then follow through those steps to get started. MD Live is awesome. I've used MD Live with the telephonic medicine a number of times for myself and my kids. My youngest, I just used it back in December. Let's go to the doctor. No, I don't want to. Okay, we'll go ahead and get that here. We'll do that now. And we called him and had a visit within under an hour, and we just did that telephonically. So MD Live does the medicine line to talk to a physician, but they can also talk about behavioral health with you, and also psychiatry. So this is a one-on-one via phone or video. So in this case, you can't text them, but you can set up a phone call or set up a video visit as well. And after hours and weekend appointments determined is based on availability. But it's a wonderful opportunity. A tried and true program. So Weight Watchers has been around a while. I like to comment that Weight Watchers changed their name last year to WW. So you see that stacked on the logo on the right. And then last fall they changed it back to Weight Watchers, but no space in between Weight and Watchers. But what they do offer is that tried and true program that has been successful for a lot of people. There's 2 ways to engage in the program. One is digital only, and that's $848 per month. The other way is digital plus workshops. So that's all the digital content and all that great information, all the tracking. But the workshops are the virtual visits. So it's kind of like the weekly visits, the weekly weigh-ins. So and that would be $19.11 a month. So I have a summary on the well-being incentives. I have it separated from active to retiree. How you get to the amount is a little different. So actives can earn up to $600 per month. I'm sorry, $600 annually. That was a slip. $600 annually. And to get to that number, you can earn $40 per quarter or $160 per year, okay, from Virgin Pulse. Completing the Blueprint for Wellness screening, you'll earn an additional $100 in Pulse Cash. The wellness credits, you earn another $150. So there you're $410. The North Carolina conference is offering a bonus opportunity. So if you reach level 4 in both Q1 and Q2, you'll receive a $95 bonus. That'll be credited in July. Complete or reach level 4 in Q3 and Q4, you'll have an additional $95 credited in January the following year. So that would be in January of 24. So that's how we get to the $600 annually. And then at the bottom, we always want to call out Health Check. So you'll complete Health Check this year to avoid the higher deductible for 2024. For retirees, they can still earn up to $600 annually. We get there by $160 in Pulse Cash, $40 per quarter. That's the standard Healthflex Virgin Pulse program. But those bonuses are $220. So reach level 4 in Q1 and Q2. You'll have a bonus of $220 in July. And then do the same in Q3 and Q4. You'll have $220 applied to your account in January for a total of $600 annually. Very rich, very, very rich benefits. This is the QR code that I referenced earlier. You can go ahead and take a picture of that. You can also find that link at the link tree at that link there. And there's probably 12 or 15 different videos, PDFs that help explain and support everything that we talked about today. We also like to call out First Aid for Mental Health. We did a couple live sessions last March, and it went over very well. These sessions are actually recorded and posted on wespath.org. So if you went to wespath.org and just searched First Aid for Mental Health, it'll bring you right to that page, and you're able to view session 1 and session 2. Cheryl, do we have any questions?
We do, Todd. So the questions that we got in, I was able to answer them online, but I wanted to bring them up anyway.
Perfect.
So the first question we have here is, when creating a Virgin Pulse account, can my spouse set up their own account?
Yes, if your spouse is covered by Healthflex, absolutely. And they will need to enter a separate email address. So Virgin Pulse wants to communicate with the individual that owns the account. So your spouse will need to have a different email address than the participant has.
Perfect. I appreciate you adding that extra information there. Is it possible to use a Fitbit rather than the free Max?
Oh, yes, you can.
Yes.
I'm actually using my Fitbit Charge 4.
And I've got my iWatch
Yep.
that I actually purchased
Yep.
through my points.
Yes, and what you'll do, you will click on, let me grab my phone. So you set up your Virgin Pulse account, you have your Fitbit account, and essentially what you do is you connect your Fitbit account to your Virgin Pulse account. That means you're going to need to open up your Fitbit account to move your steps over, but you'll also need to get in your Virgin Pulse account to do all those other activities. Okay? So what you'll do, you'll open up the app and you'll click on More. At the top of the menu is Devices and Apps, and then you can follow the steps on how to connect that. Thank you for that question.
Yes, definitely. There's so many different out there. So another question we have is, since this is sensitive information, how do you turn on the two-factor authentication?
How do we turn on the two-factor authentication?
Or is that something that just automatically happens?
Well, there isn't two-factor authentication. Well, Virgin Pulse will do two-factor authentication when they think it's necessary. So like my wife logged in to her Virgin Pulse account on our new Surface. Virgin Pulse recognized that that was a new device, so they automatically said, oh, we're doing two-factor authentication. So then she needed to enter that code from her phone. So that could either be sent to your phone or sent to the email address that you have on file. Then that device is recognized by Virgin Pulse for a while. I would imagine if you don't log in to that using that device for maybe a month or so, or if you clear the cookies or cache, you'll need to do that multi-factor again. But it's done when Virgin deems appropriate.
Yeah, that's a great point as far as, if you have a new device, then it needs to recognize that device again. So, all right, the next one we had was Blueprint for Wellness and Health Check. Are they only for clergy or staff as well?
If you're covered by Healthflex, then you're eligible for Blueprint for Wellness and a complete health check.
Perfect.
Yep.
Excellent. Oh, and another question we just got in. Are there opportunities for covered children to earn any rewards?
There isn't at this time, but you could still get a device, not through Virgin Pulse, right? Because the Max is associated with just Virgin Pulse, but they would still be able to, participate along with you.
And those are the questions we've received. You did a great job. I was listening to it, and it was a wonderful job.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We will get the link out of this recording, the slides as a PDF, and then I'll also put that Linktree link in the email so that you can put that in your favorites so that you've got all of the answers that you need right at your fingertips. Thank you so much for taking the time to attend today.
Thank you.